Sagittarius warns, never leave your shoes in this place or you will attract poverty for years. There is a small action you do every day without realizing it, and it is silently inviting poverty into your life. But there are also homes where, no matter how hard the owners try, money always slips through their fingers. Opportunities come and go, and life never seems to stabilize. Why is that? Have you ever thought that all of this might start simply from the place where you put your shoes every day? It sounds strange. But today, I will take you deep into a secret that has been passed down for centuries. A habit that seems harmless, but if done wrong, especially for those born under the sign of Sagittarius, can cause you to unknowingly shut the door to wealth for many years. And you know what's even scarier? Chances are, you are doing it every day, without realizing that you are inviting poverty to reside right inside your beloved home. Today, we are going to talk about shoes, but not as an ordinary object, but about the energy they carry, and their profound impact on your financial destiny, especially if you are a Sagittarius, a sign ruled by Jupiter, with a life path always tied to expansion, blessings, and spiritual journeys. I know you're thinking, they're just shoes, how can it be that serious? But you will see, after understanding the importance of this through the lens of astrology, mysticism, and even deep advice from revered figures like Padre Pio, you will never look at your shoes the same way again. In the next 30 minutes, I will reveal to you 3 forbidden places where Sagittarius must never leave their shoes if they do not want to cut off the flow of wealth. 1 specific place in your home that can activate prosperity energy, if you place your shoes there correctly. And what miracle may occur if you commit to making one small, but consistent change, over the next 40 days. But before we begin, pause for a moment, and write in the comment section, I am ready to step into the path of prosperity. Because an affirmation is a signal sent to the universe. And when you declare it with full sincerity, the door will begin to open. If you feel that what I am saying touches something inside you, do not hesitate to like and share this program. Let this light reach those who need it most. Because what you give, the universe will return to you many times over. Are you ready? Let us begin the journey of discovering the secret of the shoe, the energy of transformation, and how a Sagittarius like you can activate the path to the wealth you truly deserve. Hold on to your faith, because what you are about to hear might be the final piece you've been missing to unlock your prosperous destiny. Sagittarius, the pilgrim of truth and cosmic energy. Let us begin with a simple truth that is often overlooked. Every step you take in life leaves behind an energetic footprint. And Sagittarius, born under the protection of Jupiter, is never someone who walks aimlessly. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, optimism, and spiritual truth. When you are a Sagittarius, you don't just walk physically, you journey with your soul. You don't just seek new lands, you yearn to expand your vision, to touch the divine, to understand the language of the universe. And naturally, your shoes become the silent companion on every journey. They don't just support your feet, they absorb every moment, every emotion, every energy you've passed through. They are a witness, a vessel containing things the naked eye cannot see. Think back for a moment. Each day, how many places do you walk through? How many people do you come across? How many spaces do you pass that carry their own energies, both positive and negative? And then you bring all that energy home, the most sacred place in your life. But more importantly, most of us don't know how to release or transmute the energy that our shoes carry back. We mindlessly leave them wherever is convenient, sometimes under the bed, next to a plant, or right by the front door. And just like that, day by day, year by year, that heavy energy accumulates, creeps in, clings on, and then blocks the flow of prosperity trying to reach you. For Sagittarius, this is even more serious. Because you are a fire sign, your energy is always moving, expanding, evolving. You cannot tolerate stagnation, limitation, or anything that holds you back. Yet if your very living space, the place where you rest and recharge, holds stagnant air from misplaced shoes, you will feel like you're running in a dream, no matter how hard you try. You can't reach the finish line. Sagittarius, perhaps you've heard yourself referred to as the traveler of light. That's not a hollow metaphor. It is your true nature, a soul that refuses to accept limits. A mind that thirsts for ultimate truth. And so, everything around you directly affects your freedom and abundance, even something as small as where you place your shoes. Do you remember those times when everything seemed so close, only to slip away at the last minute? A business opportunity. A promising contract. A dream job. A potential partner. And suddenly, everything fell into silence without explanation. If that happens repeatedly, be honest with yourself and ask, am I unknowingly placing my shoes in a spot that is cutting off the blessings I've worked so hard to cultivate? In classical astrology, the second house of the birth chart represents money and personal values. If Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, is negatively affected in this house, financial energy will be blocked. And that blockage does not come only from within, but also from how you interact with the material world around you. Padre Pio, the revered saint known for seeing what the naked eye could not, once said, "Shoes placed in the wrong spot are not only physically dirty, but spiritually unclean." He clearly observed, the families who came to seek financial guidance often made the same mistake. They placed their shoes in forbidden areas of the house. This is not superstition. It is a way to understand the subtle energy structure of your living space. Just like electricity, if you place an obstacle at a power connection point, the whole system shuts down. And shoes, in many cultures from east to west, are seen as a bridge between the outside world and the inner sanctuary. You leave them messy at the entrance? You are telling the universe, I accept chaos. You place them under the bed? You are letting heavy energy seep straight into your sleep, into your subconscious. You do this unconsciously every day? Then poverty is no longer a matter of bad luck, it is an inevitable consequence. Sagittarius, remember this. You are the light, but light needs a space to shine. You are of the fire element, but the flame only burns brightly when it is not snuffed out by dark air, by opposing currents. From today, stop treating your shoes as trivial objects. See them as you would see a secret door, a vessel containing messages from your life's journey. And ask yourself again, where am I leaving my shoes? And am I unintentionally closing the door to my blessings just for the sake of convenience? In the next section, I will share with you 3 taboo locations where shoes must never be placed. If you truly want money, opportunities, and abundance to return, the things Padre Pio once warned about are now being explained by modern astrology. And once you know, you will never make the same mistake again. The spirituality of objects, why shoes are energy conductors. Now that you have begun to question the placement of your shoes, let us take one step further. Don't just ask, where should I put my shoes? Ask yourself, what are shoes really, and what do they bring, or take away, from my spiritual and financial life? It may sound simple. A shoe, isn't it just something to protect your feet? But in ancient spiritual schools, from the East to monastic communities in the West, shoes have never been seen as inanimate. On the contrary, they are considered energy stations, storing, conducting, and sometimes sealing flows that you are not even aware of. Imagine it like this. Every day you walk through dozens of places, markets, offices, hospitals, other people's homes, crowded areas. And at each of those places, you leave behind your own energy field and bring back a portion of that space's energy. The emotions, thoughts, and vibrational frequencies of the people you encounter leave a trace on your shoes. Shoes do not just carry road dust. They accumulate energies, both good and bad, from every place you have passed through. And if not placed properly, they will amplify the energy of poverty within your home. In traditional Catholic monasteries, it is taught not to bring shoes into prayer rooms, bedrooms, or near sacred symbols. Not merely for hygiene reasons, but because shoes retain low-level energies that can overpower the positive vibrations of your living space. Now apply this to Sagittarius, a zodiac sign that is always outward-facing. Always on a journey. You are someone who keeps moving, not just physically, but spiritually. You walk through many spaces, touch many layers of energy, and because of this, your shoes carry more than anyone else's. And if you, a Sagittarius, do not know how to process that consciously, then your very shoes may work against you. Not maliciously, but in the way the universe operates. Negative energy that is not released does not disappear on its own. It lingers. It blocks. It becomes a wall between you and what you have been praying for. Padre Pio once described shoes as jars containing the souls of the streets. He did not use the word jars for poetic effect, but to depict their density, their weight, and the echo they carry. And if you bring a jar full of dark energy into your home and place it near sacred spaces like the front door, you have unknowingly built a wall between grace and your life. Sagittarius, you carry freedom within you. You live for noble ideals. You seek truth, even when that truth requires you to change yourself. And that is what I believe you can begin to do today. See your shoes not as something that covers your feet, but as the connection between you and the earth. Between the spiritual realm and the material one. They go with you where no one else has. They listen to every step, every stumble, every moment you stood at a crossroads in life. They also witness your disappointment, your pain, and those times you asked yourself, why'd I keep trying so hard, but life still doesn't get better? Perhaps the shoes are not at fault, but the place you put them might be. Astrology teaches that energy can only flow when it is not obstructed. And this applies to both the energy inside you and the energy around you. Shoes placed in the wrong position create what Padre Pio called a curtain of stagnation. It doesn't attack you, it simply keeps everything from moving forward. Opportunities come, then vanish. Helpers appear, then disappear. You feel like everything is hanging in the air. And the worst part is, you don't know where the cause lies. Now you know. Shoes are energy conductors. But if you use them incorrectly, place them wrongly, or disregard them, they will lead you to poverty, not abundance. Change the way you see them. Because changing your perception is the first step toward changing your destiny. You are Sagittarius, born to go far, to expand, to touch what others do not even dare to believe in. So don't let something as small as a pair of shoes block you from your great mission. In the next section, I will reveal 3 forbidden locations in your home, where, if you place your shoes there, not only will your wealth be blocked, but your sleep, health, and family relationships may also be affected. Stay with me. Because what you are about to hear may be the missing piece to activate the new financial journey you've been longing for. 3 forbidden places. Sagittarius must never place shoes if you do not want to inherit the karma of poverty. Now that you understand that shoes are not just ordinary items, but energy conductors between the outside world and the spiritual space within your home, it is time we move into the most crucial part of this journey. 3 forbidden places where a Sagittarius, or anyone aiming for a prosperous life, must absolutely never place their shoes. These places may seem harmless at first glance, but through the lens of astrology, spirituality, and real-life experiences from hundreds of families, they are in fact the very origins of long-lasting poverty, sometimes for generations. Listen sincerely, for what you are about to realize may change not just the energy in your home, but the financial destiny of your entire family. The first forbidden place is under the bed, a space that may seem safe, discreet, and tidy, but is actually one of the most misused spots. Many of us, out of habit or convenience, often slide our shoes under the bed at the end of the day, thinking nothing of it. But did you know that, according to both energy psychology and astrological observation, when we sleep, our body's energy field expands many times more than when we are awake? In that state, our subconscious becomes more sensitive, more vulnerable to the vibrations around us. And if, right below where you rest, lie shoes carrying chaotic energy, dirt, worries from the streets, from strangers, from your own daily stress, then you are allowing the energy of poverty to seep into your dreams, to penetrate your subconscious, and plant the seeds of limiting beliefs. For Sagittarius, a fire sign that always seeks internal liberation, sleep is not just rest. It is the process of spiritual energy renewal. And you cannot regenerate your energy if what lies beneath you is a nest of stagnation. Those who have the habit of keeping shoes under their beds often dream of loss, being chased, or falling into despair. And they don't realize that these dreams are reprogramming a reality of poverty that they are desperately trying to escape. The second place you must absolutely avoid is next to indoor plants. This may surprise you, because in modern thinking, green plants are considered symbols of good feng shui, of life, and bringers of positive energy. But in feng shui and even in the traditions of certain Western monastic orders, green plants are considered receivers of cosmic energy. If shoes carrying heavy, gloomy energy are placed near them, it is no different from turning the plant into a transmitter of poverty throughout your home. In astrology combined with Eastern energy theories, plants are seen as biological antennas, capable of absorbing and spreading energy throughout your living space. When you leave your shoes, objects that carry chaotic energy, constantly in contact with the ground and public places, near a plant, you are turning that plant into a hub that spreads toxic vibrations throughout the house. Especially in homes where plants are placed near windows, entryways, or living rooms, points of energy intersection. Placing shoes nearby can cause a powerful ripple of negative influence. You will notice the pattern of almost successful, recurring, almost closing a major deal, but it gets delayed. Almost clearing your debt, but then new expenses arise. Almost stepping into a life-changing opportunity, only to watch it disappear. Padre Pio called this, the loop of almost, where all efforts are pulled back at the very last moment. And strangely, most cases stuck in this loop had shoes placed right next to indoor plants. The third place, the most dangerous, most common, and sadly, the most familiar, is just inside the front door. Especially when the tips of the shoes are facing inward. This is the place where, according to Padre Pio, people unknowingly create a blockage gate of blessings. According to Catholic tradition and many ancient spiritual beliefs, the front door is the gateway through which divine grace and the energy of God enter the home. It is where you welcome guests, good news, and the first morning light. But when you leave shoes, carrying dust, anxiety, and burden, right at the door, you are building an invisible wall that blocks the energy of abundance from flowing in. Worse still, if the shoes point inward, it symbolizes an energetic act that Padre Pio described as betraying the universe. You are not welcoming grace, but sending it away. For Sagittarius, a zodiac sign born to receive and expand every opportunity life offers, this act is no different from slamming shut the very door of destiny that is about to open. Even more dangerous is when this habit has been repeated over many years, even passed down through generations. Padre Pio referred to this phenomenon as energetic inheritance of poverty. When children are born and raised in a space with a poverty-stricken energy structure, even if they are smart and hardworking, it becomes very difficult for them to break free. Because their subconscious is programmed to believe that poverty is the familiar limit. And do you know what's even more worrying? It is very possible that you, a Sagittarius who craves freedom and achievement, are unknowingly maintaining a habit that blocks the flow of wealth from entering your life. But here's the good news: by changing just one small action, you can begin to create a butterfly effect of transformation. In the next part, I will share with you exactly where you should place your shoes. Not only to stop the energy of poverty but to open the door to true abundance. Because for Sagittarius, a step in the right direction is not just a matter of repositioning. It is the opening of an entire magnificent path ahead. Place of wealth attraction: how Sagittarius can unlock wealth right in their own home. After you've learned about the 3 places where you should never leave your shoes if you don't want to fall into the vicious cycle of scarcity and stagnation, this is the moment to unveil the secret that hundreds of families have tried, and their lives have changed in miraculous ways. This is the central part of everything you've heard so far. This is the revelation that Padre Pio once shared only with those he believed were ready to embrace a new destiny. And now, you, a Sagittarius listening with an open heart, are standing at that same opportunity. I want you to imagine this: every home is like a living being. It has energy currents flowing like blood in veins. There are convergence points, openings, and also areas where energy flows in and out like invisible gateways. One of those gateways, if activated in the right way, can become a magnet for wealth, a guardian of peace, and a channel of prosperity that nourishes the whole family. And shoes, though small, are the special key that can either open or close that gateway. So the most important question is, where in your house can become the launch pad for wealth if you place your shoes correctly? The answer might surprise you because it's so simple. But within that simplicity lies a deeply powerful truth that's hard to believe. Padre Pio revealed, place your shoes inside a closed cabinet, with doors that shut, located on the east side of the house. Why the east? Because the east is where the sun rises, a symbol of rebirth, of new light, of a beginning illuminated by the divine hand. In astrology, the east corresponds to the fire element, and you, Sagittarius, are one of the 3 fire signs, which makes the energy of the east particularly aligned with your spiritual essence and life's mission. When you place your shoes in a cabinet facing east, you are not just storing physical shoes. You are preserving the energy of your journey in a sacred space, where the first sunlight of the day will purify all the energies clinging from the previous day. But there's another very important factor. The shoe tips must always face the wall, absolutely never outwards or toward the cabinet door. Why? Because according to energy structure studies, the shoe tip represents the intent to move. If you let your shoes point outward, you are unconsciously sending the signal that wealth, energy, and opportunities should leave. But when you turn the shoe tips inward, you are creating a retention circuit, a looping energy flow, like a stream that circles around your home. And according to Padre Pio, this very action will activate a silent but persistent vortex of prosperity that grows steadily over time. And remember, never stack shoes on top of each other. Each pair needs its own space, just as you offer each family member their own place of honor. Shoes represent your journey. And your journey must not be chaotic. When you place your shoes neatly in the cabinet, in a straight row, without clutter, you are declaring to the universe, I am ready to manage my finances in an orderly, responsible, and grateful manner. And the most surprising thing is, after just a few weeks of doing this, many people have felt their living space become lighter, brighter, their sleep deeper, their conversations warmer, and money, seemingly from nowhere, begins to flow in gently, without struggle. For Sagittarius, this is even more significant. Because you are the symbol of faith, of expansion, of the belief that good things always come to those who live sincerely. But faith cannot thrive in a space filled with noise. Faith must be nurtured through small, steady, quiet habits, like taking a few seconds each day to store your shoes properly. Something that seems insignificant, yet brings a fundamental transformation in your home's energy field. You're not just changing where your shoes go. You're transforming yourself. You're rejecting chaos. You're inviting in light. You're honoring every journey your feet have taken. And the most miraculous thing is this: the universe always responds to those who know how to place every brick in its right place. Now, I invite you to try this simple yet powerful act tonight. Find a closed cabinet in the east, or as close as possible to the east, and place your shoes inside with the tips facing inward. Do it in silence. And whisper this powerful affirmation: I allow prosperity to enter my home. And I will honor every step I take. If you do this for 40 consecutive days, the miracle may not arrive in the form you expect. But it will surely arrive in the way the universe chooses. And always at the perfect time. Reprogramming Sagittarius energy: 40 days to unlock the gateway to wealth. Now that you've learned the 3 places to absolutely avoid and the 1 place that activates the flow of prosperity in your home, I want to invite you to take part in a gentle yet sacred challenge, a 40-day journey to shift your habits, shift your vibration, and shift your destiny. It is not by coincidence that Padre Pio chose the number 40. In the Bible, 40 was the number of years God allowed the Israelites to wander in the desert. It was the number of days Jesus fasted before beginning his ministry. In astrology, 40 days represent a full cycle of cleansing old energies and restoring a new energetic flow. And for you, a Sagittarius who has long been waiting for the door to fortune to open, this is the intersection where faith meets action. I want you to start simply. Tonight, after listening to this section, go to the cabinet you've chosen, ideally facing east, and gently place each pair of shoes inside. Turn the tips inward. Do not stack them. Every step should be taken with mindfulness, as if you were performing a quiet, sacred ritual. Then, place your hand on the closed cabinet door and whisper this phrase like a sacred mantra. I allow light to flow into my home. I am ready to receive the prosperity I deserve. Repeat this every night, for 40 consecutive days. And if one day you are tired or forget, simply return, apologize to yourself, and continue. Because this is not a mechanical action, it is the process of renewing your relationship with the living energy that surrounds you. You won't see money falling from the ceiling. But you will notice small, subtle signs, like whispers from the universe to you. An old debt unexpectedly repaid. A collaboration offer after months of silence. A friend referring you to a new opportunity. Things you thought were lost slowly returning. And most importantly, you'll feel a change within yourself. You'll worry less about money. Panic less in times of financial challenge. And begin to trust, not blindly, but steadily, that a flow is quietly moving to support you. Because you are a Sagittarius. You don't live to accumulate material things. You live to seek meaning. But without financial stability, your journey toward truth will always be delayed. The universe didn't create you to live in worry. You were born to blaze trails, to lead, to inspire, and to do that. You must be freed from the weight of financial pressure resting on your free-spirited shoulders. This 40-day journey is not meant to make you a millionaire overnight. It is the first step in realigning the energy structure of your home, helping you become a magnet for what is truly yours. You are not doing this alone. Padre Pio believed that every small act done with reverence is recorded by God and blessed. And I believe that if you are still listening at this very moment, then you are ready. You can write a simple affirmation and place it near where you store your shoes. Something like, every step I take is a step toward light and abundance. Or, I walk a path guided by light. I do not welcome lack. I was born to live a life of fullness. Each time you enter or exit, repeat it in your mind. Do not plead, affirm. Do not doubt, trust. Because faith, when paired with right action, is the most powerful catalyst for miracles. The universe is waiting for your confirmation that you are ready. And these 40 days will be the sign you send to prove it. And if during this process, you feel something deeply shift within you, I invite you to do this. Write in the comments section, "I am ready to live a prosperous life." Let that sentence be a declaration. Not just to the universe, but a connection to thousands of souls on a similar journey. You are not alone. You are part of a network of awakening souls, and you, Sagittarius, are one of the pioneers. If what I've said today touched your heart, hit like and share this video as your way of spreading light to others who may be lost in the darkness of scarcity. Because what you give, even just a sliver of light, the universe will return to you with a far more radiant sunrise. Are you ready? 40 days isn't long, but it's enough to redirect a flow that's been blocked for years. And the shoes, that small, soulful item, are waiting for you to place them just right. The first step begins tonight. Closing the old door, opening a new one for Sagittarius. You have journeyed with me through an experience that is not merely about shoes, but about how we live, how we walk, how we invite or reject prosperity. You may be sitting in your living room, driving your car, or lying quietly in the stillness of night. But I believe that if you are still listening at this moment, your soul has been stirred by something far greater than anything we can explain in words. Sagittarius, you were not born to live a limited life. You were born to cross borders, transcend norms, rise beyond fear, and step into a grand journey that only you can truly understand. But that journey cannot continue if the space around you is blocking hidden currents you never even realized existed. Maybe you have prayed. Maybe you have cried out for help. Maybe you have looked up to the sky and asked, "Lord, why do I keep trying and still see no way out?" And today, perhaps He whispered an answer, not in thunder, but in a gentle voice: you are placing your shoes in the wrong place. Prosperity is not a reward. It is the natural result of living in harmony with the laws of the universe. When we walk with awareness, with reverence, with readiness, placing shoes in the right spot is no longer a simple act, it becomes a spiritual declaration that says, "I am ready to receive the good. I believe I am worthy. I will honor every step life gives me." And if you've listened this far, I want to leave you with something more sacred than anything else. The belief that you can start again, at any moment. No matter how many years you've placed your shoes in the wrong place, failed, stood at the doorway of life, unsure and burdened, today, this very moment, you are different. You know now. You are awakened. And once you know, once you see, you have the power to choose again. You can enter a new season of your life, gently, in the right direction, and full of grace. Sagittarius is the zodiac sign of the journey, of growth, of living faith. And I believe, in the moment you bow down, touch your shoes, place them in a cabinet facing east, with the tips toward the wall, that is the very moment you open a sacred path you've been prepared for all along. Don't keep this to yourself. If what I shared today touched something deep within you, share this video. Send it to the friend you know is struggling in the dark. Let the light you received today reach farther, like a torch, like a spark of hope. And before you go, I invite you to write in the comments a simple yet powerful sentence. I choose to walk with light, with faith, and with prosperity. Write it as a prayer. Write it as a message to the universe. And then, right now, stand up. Go to your shoe cabinet. Open it. Pick the first pair you see. Place it in the right position, just as you were guided. Because today's small act may be the beginning of an entirely new destiny. Because, dear Sagittarius, greatness has never left you. It has only been waiting for you to realign your shoes and continue forward with an open heart.